Sunday. Welcome to the DMV's Vibe Podcast. Me and my co-host is back today. I am Miss Pink.
And I'm Fearless Swagger.
And we do have two special guests right in the studio with us today. Mr. Perspective from Conversations with Comedians.
What's happening?
And we also have DJ Sly Ty in the building with us.
Good evening.
Better known as our engineer for the show, for those that don't know. So
Bars.
A little bit.
Y'all get ready.
Get ready.
Before we hop in, real quick, I do want to say rest in peace to the DC legend, Chucky Thompson.
Yes.
He is responsible for so many hits from the 90s.
Very first whole album, the My Life album. That whole album was great. I listened to that on the way over here.
Yeah, so we send in our praise and condolences to the family, friends, and loved ones of Chucky Thompson, the DC legend.
Yeah.
Also, I'm gonna do this PSA real quick. Yeah, so I guess in due favor, I should say shots fired. But if there's ever
what kind
issue,
of gun sound like that? what are we playing? 5 years old cowboys and then pew pew pew. And she let the last gun.
If there is ever any kind of issue, whether it be with the podcast as a whole or with me personally, I'm approachable. Please approach me. Yes.
Oh, you want me to air it out now, or do you want us?
That's fine. We can talk about it right now.
Well, let's talk about the issue. My first issue is
it's the backstreet.
Whenever to all the listeners, whenever a black person makes some sort of parallelogram with their hands, that lets you know how serious they are. So, my first issue is the fact. Well, it's a plethora. My first issue is the fact that there was actually no hors d'oeuvres for the special guest when I came in.
So now, for those who don't know, he is a part of the Next Level family. Before we go any further.
Yes. Conversation.
She wore that shirt today just for you the whole time. I didn't even peep it.
I was going to say something, but I didn't.
Then why say... let's go ahead and keep going. You were talking about you was approachable. Let's go ahead and do that.
Yeah, so I'm approachable. If there's ever an issue, please. I heard, I saw somebody took some subliminal shots. It's all cool. That's how you feel. But I respect it more if it's directed to me.
Period.
Put a name on it.
I'm on mute because, I respect my codes. But I really want to go in. I'm going to behave myself.
But yeah, so I didn't want anything negative tied to the brand that I'm building. And especially as though my name is the acronym, for those who don't know.
I love how black women find a way to stop themselves from sinning, but act like they're doing you a favor. I really wanted to go in.
I did. But I got to catch my blessing. So that's why I'm going to leave it alone.
It's the reason. Look, Pink. We're not doing this with you today. With Perspective.
You're right.
But Pink stands for positive influences through networking and knowledge. So we strive to keep everything positive over here on this side.
It's a silent T, Doug.
Okay. All right. It's a silent. For a minute, it shouldn't be
microanalyzing.
Why would it be picnic? What?
Positive influences through networking and what's the K? Knowledge. All right. Well, it wouldn't be picnic. It would just be picnic.
So for those who don't know, that is Mr. Perspective.
Y'all, this gonna be the whole show, y'all.
Yeah, so our topic today, as we're talking about, there's been so much discussion of what it is to be feminine. I hear a lot of men saying what it is to be feminine. Why are you moving your mic, sir?
I'm not moving it. I'm going to get some liquor.
No, but see, I invited you guys on the show because I want to hear from a male's perspective of what they qualify, what their qualities of being feminine is. So I don't know which one of y'all want to go first because I've heard so many things that people tie to it, the way we dress, or
how we speak.
Yeah, how we speak. So from
Even the
y'all,
cars we drive. I've definitely heard that too.
so from y'all's perspective, I think Ty, you should go first.
I mean, to be honest, I really don't got no definition of what feminine is. I really don't. But I told y'all before the show started, I am not the typical male. I don't think the way all males think. I can say that with confidence. I don't know if I had to. Oh, okay.
Ain't no cups over here.
Take it straight to the head, then. No, go ahead, Ty. Go ahead.
I mean, I really don't have no set definition of what feminine is. Like, me personally, I never thought about it. I don't think about stuff like that. That's just me.
You might think that way.
So feminine, what does that mean to me?
Yeah. What qualities go with it when you think of
Anything that a man isn't. I think that sums it up. Anything that a man isn't.
But then what is a man?
How old are you?
Younger than all y'all.
And we're asking this question now.
No.
Okay, what a man is. A man is the head. For the Bible says that man is the head of woman, because woman means out of man. He is the head. Now, what happens from the shoulders down, we'll leave that to y'all.
So y'all ain't know today's gonna be a lot of laughs.
Oh my God. My cousin just booed you on my live.
Is it a man or a woman?
It's a female.
Yeah, of course it would be. Of course it would be. I'm going to tell you right now, the one thing I do know about femininity or feminism is that if you do not universally agree that women are the next best thing to Jesus H. Christ, they will always disagree with you. They will always disagree with you. So my question, maybe the question is, what is femininity to y'all? Because y'all obviously don't agree with, because femininity, honestly, has been around for centuries. It ain't been until the last 30 years, maybe 40, that all of a sudden y'all done had a problem with what femininity has been for the past couple of hundred.
I don't have a problem. I just have a problem with people telling me, or with the stereotypes of what we can and cannot do.
Okay.
Or the masculine woman versus the feminine woman. Like,
first and foremost, there should not even be such a thing as a
you need
masculine.
to play the clip then.
There should not even be.
Yeah, so that's what I was
That's
getting to. So I do have a clip that I want to play.
Do you understand a masculine woman is like finding a woke white person?
Okay, but listen to this clip.
But I want you to listen to this clip, and everybody, I'm gonna turn up as loud as I can so y'all can hear it too.
Empowerment of men, and for women to have a better understanding of how men operate, and to have an advantage of being with the men of value. I'm rocking a Mule 40 shirt. Go to the link in my description on my page and get one. All right, let's get into the video. Signs that you are a masculine female. Number one, you always talking loud. Your tone seems to be a little more higher than your male counterparts. You use way too much foul language than the average person. Let me tell you one thing about us. We do not take that as attractive. You have a foul mouth. We do not want to bring you around family, our mothers, anybody that's valuable to us. Number two, you always attract dusty ass men that wants to be taken care of. You know, he laying on the couch right now as we speak, playing video games. He ain't got no plans today. Number three, you wear your accomplishments like a badge of honor. You understand that you have a PhD, and we're proud of that. But you talk like your PhD keeps you warm at night, like you don't need anybody to tell you anything or give you any kind of constructive criticism. You are always right, and you have no fault because you have a PhD. Number four, the word submit is a cussing word when it comes to a man. Everything is cool until you get with an alpha male and he match that energy that you have and you can't handle it. If you are a masculine female, you will never get along with an alpha male. The only man that you can attract goes back to my last point. You are always gonna attract dusty ass men that wants to be taken care of because you are a masculine female. The only men that can really get along with masculine females are beta males, men that submit. When there's two masculine energies in the household, that will not work. You both will be in competition with each other. Somebody got to be feminine in the household. Somebody got to be the leader. And the last time I checked, us men are natural leaders. You cannot be the leader in the household if you already have a leader that's naturally a leader. And number five, you are comfortable dressing down around other men. Your ass got on shades, beanie, and jeans, or a hoodie or something like that around a bunch of men. You one of the homies. You one of the fellas. A lot of women don't know that they're masculine until these things are brought to the light. This is the reason why your relationships are failing.
That's what she got.
Ain't no one had no man.
Well, now,
Maybe this is wrong on my
well, we're doing this with you today.
That's what you get.
No, don't act like no. The Lord got me. Amen.
So if y'all want to reflect on that video before we reflect on this video,
I think everything. I think everything he said was accurate. Honestly, I've never understood the desire for a woman to want to be a man, because being a man is not. It is honestly the most thankless and underappreciated job in history. It really is. Like, I've never understood the masculine approach that, like, the thing that's so weird about a masculine woman is a masculine woman will want a man, but then ridicule him for being a man. And then when she ends up getting a beta male or a male who is anything less than an alpha, she'll criticize and critique him. So it's like, what do you want? Like, what do you really want? Do you want a man? Because if you want a man, there's going to come a point in time where you're going to have to fall back. Because when a man steps into a situation, his job is to bring order. A man's job is to bring order when he steps into a situation. So it's like, if you want a man, you realize you're going to have to take a step back. But if you want a male, then that's cool. But don't sit around complaining and bitching about what type of male he is when you had a man and you didn't want his energy.
Because I'm trying to digest what Doug was saying. You know, I can agree to an extent. I think the part where I'm a little conflicted on is the whole a man brings order.
Oh yeah, because somebody definitely said something about that on my live. She
Female.
said, so a feminine
Female.
individual can't bring order.
See, masculine. Whoever that person is, that shows, because it's always a competition. There are certain. Oh, I'm sorry.
no, I'm sorry, but I had to, store it in my.
Oh, but there's always a competition. See, there's a difference. See, women are so bent on, especially nowadays, when people tell them what it is they can and can't do. We're not telling you what it is you can't do. We're telling you what it is you shouldn't do. There is a big difference.
Shouldn't?
Should.
Okay.
There's
so
a
I
difference.
can't dress down.
You can do whatever you want to. Can means nothing more than.
I'm just asking you
But
because
does that make she's saying it
Right,
in the context
in the
that
concept
it
of
was
the video, it was what he said. It was like, I am masculine because I'm decided to walk around with a hoodie on and sneakers and some sweatpants. You know what I'm saying? Or I got my shades on.
I wouldn't feel in that part. I'm not too sure what he was talking about with that.
It didn't make sense the second time.
Yeah, that part I didn't, because honestly, a woman putting jeans on, like me personally, y'all know how we were in this area. We used to love our women with jeans and Timbs on.
Okay, because I was bagging them in Nike boots and sweatpants.
Yeah, that was a you know what I'm saying, wearing sweatpants and you're not running anywhere. So it was one of those things where it was like, I have no problem with the way a
I
woman
don't run in
dresses.
sweatpants. I run in Nike tights. Don't do that.
Nike tights.
Yeah.
First, one thing you're not going to do is tell me what.
So we're saying we can. So we're saying we can eliminate how a woman dresses.
No. We can't eliminate that. But I think the way he articulated it was incorrect. because it would be a different story if you're talking to me about the over sexualization of the way a woman dresses. Then I would have an issue with that. Or if you're telling me that this woman, like, because I don't even have a problem with women back in the day, because we grew up in the 80s and 90s where girls had baggy jeans, like the MC Lights and the people like that.
And
Aaliyah, they still kept their femininity. I believe femininity is more so of an attitude than attire. Because if your attitude will reflect how you carry yourself and what you dress like. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have a problem with the way a woman dresses. I have a problem with how she portrays herself in what she wears. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Because that was a big thing that was became a debate on social media. It's like, well, first of all, we're not in the 50s and 60s where women just wear freaking heels every day.
Or they was wearing skirts down to their whatever.
Why do we sit up here and talk about the 50s and 60s and the way women were then?
And we weren't even here.
But not so much that, but like it was a bad thing. You do realize that when the family structure was the strongest was back then.
Yeah, it was prior to Reagan making that
No,
war on drugs.
No, yes, that, but it was also prior to the feminist movement, where everybody had their roles and they followed them. I don't understand why there are certain words that are trigger words in society now. You know what I'm saying? Like submit. He was dead on accurate about that. Like, I don't know what that thought process is. Like, if you say submit to a woman, you might as well have said, obey, bitch. Like you might as well have said that, because when you say submit to a woman, if you ever want to see eyebrows raised, Shayla, submit.
But that doesn't bother me.
But I don't like when it comes to that term submit. I don't think of it as, I willingly give my my autonomy over to you. To me, submit is kind of the same as what's the word, like vulnerable, like me being able to trust somebody.
Yes,
that's how I view submission. So man, it's not.
I told you, I'm not the typical man.
I gotta cook his breakfast every morning. Like, that's not how I view being submissive. But
I have no problem being submissive with someone who can effectively lead. You're not gonna lead me down this blind ass
exactly.
path.
But you hear men use being submissive, but you're not giving me anything to submit to.
Then why are you dealing with him?
You don't.
Okay,
right.
Then why are so when somebody says submit,
saying,
we're under the impression that this is a man and not a male, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is, when you see these conversations on social media, because I'm in Facebook groups where I'm just like, what? And you hear, but I'm just for conversational purposes, because I see how your face looking. But when you hear men talk, women don't submit, da 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 da, but this is somebody that don't have shit going for themselves that I wouldn't want to submit to. So it's like, how you going to expect for someone to submit to you, but you're not leading, you're not showing me qualities or qualities, period, where a woman should submit to you. That's the only thing.
God.
Make sure I do this right.
Can't put the glass on. But can I say this before you get started? Because
I feel like
we're going into character. I feel like when I think about the word submit, it's the same places where men don't want to open up because they don't feel like they're with the person who gives them that open space. That open and safe space. It's another level of vulnerability.
So let me. So what you're saying is submission can be unlocked through the key of vulnerability.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
Partly.
To an extent.
Yeah.
I think that's part of it.
Oh, okay.
Because when a woman feels comfortable to be vulnerable
and confident,
yes, you get treated a whole lot better because she feels comfortable.
She's more willing,
right, and more open.
You won't have to ask for certain things. If you come to me and you on your shit, I'm on my shit, and I feel like collectively we're going to work well together. I can see that you know how to take care of responsibilities as an adult the same way that I do. I have no problem following your lead. And that also gets me to a new level of I want to willingly do extra things for you.
All right.
Somebody asked how old you were.
What?
I don't know. Just give us a bracket.
A bracket? What is this, the NCAA tournament? All right.
You know when you gotta scroll and stuff.
All right. 30 to 40. That's the bracket. All right. You know, I don't disagree with anything that y'all are saying. I really don't. I believe it's a mutualistic relationship. It's a relationship where one should unlock the other. The problem with that is we have to figure out what has worked, because as the thing that kills me is when it comes, and I can only speak from a woman's standpoint, I mean from a man's standpoint, is that everybody wants to sit up here when women talk, they lament the old days, the 50s, the 60s. First thing a woman to say is they'll refer to it as the Stone Age, or that was the past, or we're not in the 50s and 60s. But if we sit back and look at our family structure, never before, especially in the Black community, was our families ever stronger than in the 50s and 60s. We were married at every four out of every 5 couples, 4 of them were married. That was an 80% clip. We were the moral compass of America, even though we were going through segregation, Jim Crow, any and everything you can think of to tear our families up, we were going through. But yet we still married, and we still had roles. The man was the man, the woman was the woman. There was no question about whose role was whose role. Then all of a sudden, somewhere along the line, we got to a point where it was like we're trying to reinvent the wheel instead of just changing the tread on the tires. We're trying to reinvent the wheel, where it's like, okay, well, what does masculine mean and what does feminine mean? But it's like we have survived centuries on the definition of what masculine means and the definition of what feminine means. And now all of a sudden we're trying to murk the waters, but then we're trying to get the same results that our grandparents got. And that doesn't make sense. And I'm not blaming it on women. I'm not. But this started with the feministic movement. I just have to be honest, because you're looking at women who want traditional results, but are moving in a modern standpoint. And it's like, that doesn't make sense. I'm not sitting up here saying men are perfect. I would never even, like, I'm a man. I know we be on some shit. Okay, we be on some shit so much we sleep with Angel Soft by our bed.
Yep.
Like, we be on some shit.
Goes recon.
But at the end of the day, men have always been this way. And even when we were this way, our families were always still taken care of. All of a sudden, things have just changed now where that's not good enough anymore. And what I'm saying is, if it's not good enough anymore, fine. But don't sit up here and change into different things, but wanting the same result.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
That's all I'm saying. I have no problem with women. You want to be masculine? Fine, boo-boo, do you. I'm dead ass. I've never been the type of person to sit up here and tell somebody what to do. All I tell people is this: make sure you're ready to live with the consequences of your actions. Don't be 40, 45, 50, 55 years old talking about all men ain't shit. No, you ain't shit. After a while, you have to say that about yourself, because all men out here, because this is the one thing I will tell.
Did you try them all? Why are you saying all men?
But it's not, but it's not even so much that. This is what I'll tell people. When women say that, because women say that a lot more than men do, even though you're not the average man, you've heard the average conversation.
Yeah.
So women will constantly say there ain't no good men out here. That is a misnomer, because if you did not approach a good man, or a good man didn't approach you, you wouldn't know the ones you deal with are ain't shit. You wouldn't know the ones you dealt with ain't bad.
Why are you looking at me?
Because I'm trying to make eye contact. See, that's the problem with you. You want to know what your problem is? I'm gonna tell you
I'm
what
sure
your
you're
problem
gonna
is.
tell me.
Your problem is you got a nasty disposition. That's what your problem is. See, the Bible says that the windows to the soul.
Out through the eyes.
Yes. Now, would you rather me look at your eyes or look at your chest?
I'd rather you look at my eyes
Well,
because
then,
I'm
then
tired
stop blinking
of
when I'm
when I
talking
got
to
a
you.
mask on. Men are like, "You're so beautiful, sir. You don't even know what I look like."
That's not true. We judge it according to the eye head to forehead ratio. The eyebrow to forehead ratio will tell you if you got a forehead, you're pretty much beautiful. If you got a 5, 6, 7, 8 head, chances are you're on
Even
a
with
different.
the all my life I had the fight twist that I had in my head.
Now that day, yeah. So
Questions were formed.
yeah, questions were formed. But remember, Celie was always beautiful inside. Just want you to know
It's
that.
fine. I'll start gym clothes on. So
Yeah.
yeah. Shout out to Mikey Bros.
What? Do you get paid by them or something?
No, I don't.
Then stop shouting them out. Stop shouting them out. Don't shout them out no more.
I
I got scolded. Like,
so you think it was the feminist movement that got us to where we are now? Because I wanted to ask, like, why it feels like it's a silent competition versus men versus women of like who deals with the most or who has been hurt the most, and what can we do to get past making it a competition to where we can comfortably and respectfully be able to coexist and understand both sides.
I hate comparing. I put it to you like this. The one thing I can't stand, have you ever talked to somebody and no matter how bad your day going, they always
it's
have the
always
worst
worse.
one?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, my car broke down. Well, let me tell you something. Somebody stole my car. You're like, yeah, man, this car note is bad. Well, let me tell you something. They ain't just leave me a note. They left me a car book. You be like, nigga, stop. Like, nigga, stop. My child,
without you.
yeah, like for real, my child on drugs. Let me tell you this much. My child went to Colombia to get drugs and died from an overdose. Came back and brought the drugs back. You're like, shut up. I think what it boils down to is let's not compare shit because it all stinks. However, we have to realize that the reason why women have to understand that the reason why they've been subjected to the stuff that they've been subjected to, especially as of late, is because men have been attacked and have been removed. Because the Bible says that, no, I'm being serious. The Bible says if you strike the shepherd, the sheep will be scattered. What is the one thing that is supposed to be like this is just spans anything. Who is the protector in the house?
Jesus.
After Jesus, man.
After God first, then come to me.
Women always throw God in when it's convenient for them. They always went after God, after the Lord Jesus Christ, who is the Savior and the head of my life. My God, yes.
Testimony service is now open.
Yes, I'm serious. Y'all need to stop it. We know it's God. We know it's God.
Hey, look, Tess said, so we just had to go ahead.
And then all he did.
No, because you gave him that awkward silence, so we had to like.
No, because I was expecting the average man to say the average shit. Men. Do you understand how many robberies would be thwarted if Jesus came down? So no, stop. The Lord protects us. As if he favors one house over the other.
Me and my house.
Because that's what the Bible says. Like, stop. I'm just saying, the man is the protector. And what happened was, when the man got removed from the household, look at everything that started to fall apart.
So would you say that this is just more so in the Black community, though?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because my aunt's one of these feminists.
Damn, man. Your aunt?
Yes, my aunt.
Well, let
him tell his story.
God damn, he just put his aunt out there.
I don't give a damn. Look, this happened literally the other day.
She give him no Christmas present.
But this happened literally the other day. She told my mother while we was driving home on the phone. She was like, I'll be the first one to dog a nigga out because whatever this, that, and third. Because it was something about how how women look or whatever. Like she said, she saw like this, I guess this dirty woman or whatever. And my aunt was like, I'd be the first one to dog a nigga out.
Words at all. I saw this dirty bitch.
Yeah, she don't. But she was like, I wouldn't do that to a Black woman because we've been through more than men. I was like, I almost reached over and hung up my mother's phone.
So she would do. Wait
I
a
wouldn't
minute.
have if I'd have paid the bill.
She will dog out a nigga before she dogs out a woman, a black woman.
But you see
Because
how silly that statement is.
Either way,
you see how closed-minded that statement is.
But I want you to think about the effect of it. You dog this man out, right? You inadvertently hurting your sister because guess what? Men,
Now he gonna be.
damn right. Because the one thing that women need to understand is men hurt.
cause and effect.
We hurt,
Sure do.
and we hurt deep. And
It is way.
it is deep. And see, this is the thing that women don't understand. Y'all femininity is y'all strength because it allows y'all to be vulnerable. You and Fertile Swagger
Oh,
can come together and actually talk about y'all issues. Actually cry.
Me and Doug came.
Hell no.
I'm like,
if he comes to me, I'm telling you right now, this is the most sensitive men will ever get.
Yeah.
Man, she hurt my heart. Man, fuck that bitch. You knew she wasn't shit. That's all we gonna say. We are breaking our hearts inside, but that's all we gonna say. With y'all will cry, watch Waiting to Exhale.
Hold on, it
Stella got her
depends.
groove back. I Can Do Bad All By Myself and Diary of a Mad Black Woman. And then pray to God, who's y'all protector, and go out here and ruin another man.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
Hold on. No.
Oh, okay, Destiny's Child. Okay, Destiny's Child. Come on.
Well, I'm gonna say this.
Of course you are. Whenever a woman starts stuttering, I'm gonna say this. What you gonna say?
So I've always talked to my brother about everything and the way that I process things, and he be looking at me like he wanted me to shut the fuck up.
Because we don't know
When
how
I
to
get
deal with it.
sad,
We don't know how to deal with a woman's
he
emotions.
doesn't. But
I really
the
don't.
one thing that I learned between my brother and going to therapy is you have to process and release those emotions in order to grow and heal.
You go to therapy?
Yes, I do.
Praise Jesus.
We
Hey,
talk about this every
Yeah,
week.
we talk about this.
hey, look
I
at
can't wait
them.
to get back. I'm going back.
That's-
Because it does nothing but create a cycle, like you said, of hurt people. And it becomes just one big ass cycle. And then we get into where we are now, where it's this competition of who's been hurt more. When all of us, especially in the Black community, we've all had to deal with some type of trauma, some type of pain. And just because it wasn't the same trauma doesn't mean it didn't hurt us or affect us in similar ways.
I just feel as though the hurt of a woman is a byproduct of the attack on the black man. Because our job as men are to protect our women. Let all jokes aside. It is our job. If you're a man, it is inherent to know that you're to protect your woman. Like boys are they're that way with their mother. Like, come on, man.
When they're younger.
When they're younger, of course.
Now,
they're that way with their mother. Like your mom,
your
mom is your first love. Like that's your mom. She's your first love, and you learn how to be protective because of her.
Well, we talked about this.
Yeah. So it's just one of those things where it's like I feel as though the hurt that have taken over black women is because the black man has been attacked. Why do you think the slave owners, when they got him here, the first thing they did was separate the black man from their family? Like they would purposely sell the black man to a different plantation because you're supposed to protect your woman. Like think about this. I want you to be honest with yourself. If you saw a man getting beat up outside, one-on-one fight, would you intervene?
No.
Now, if a woman was getting beat up by a man, what would you do?
Try to break it up.
Thank you. You see the difference? So it's like our inherent job is to protect women. We don't even know. That woman could have been whooping that man's ass and he just got a lucky punch. I mean, he could be out there fighting Clarissa Damn Shields or Layla Ali. And he was like, wow, yeah, I got her. And then next, Ty done tackled this nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, dog, all I did was return energy. But it doesn't matter because we see you beating up on a woman. So I honestly believe that's what American society saw. And it was like, yo, for us to take over, we got to remove the protector or the provision. And that's the man. Because if you notice, once the man got removed with crack, like you bring up, and the absorbent prison sentences
And
that man
Section
got,
8 housing.
and Section 8 housing and all of that other stuff, you would notice.
40% of the incarcerated
Come on now.
population is black.
And we're only what, 15% of the population?
Yeah.
So imagine
we third in the country.
Thank you. So imagine that now all of a sudden your mama got to step into the role of a man. And either she's going to do more than what she should or she's going to do less than what she should. The only reason she's not going to do just enough. Why? Because she's not a man. It's the same thing with a man. We're either not going to be feminine or we're going to be too feminine. But there's no fine line of femininity a man should walk. There's no fine line of, I've already said this. If I had a daughter, she'd have to go live with her mama for a week. Every week out of the month, she got to go live with her mama. I'm telling that right now. Because she can't ask me certain stuff. Daddy, I'm bleeding. All right, then just tie your belt tighter. Put a tourniquet on.
What?
Daddy, I'm cramping. All right, Daddy just bought some water. That's what Daddy does when he cramps. He pounds Gatorade and water. What am I supposed to say to her?
Don't act like the principal on what's that show? Because that's how he. I forget. All American. That's how he. That's how he was acting when his, daughter was born because the mama had died. And but a woman stepped in and gave him advice.
Thank you. A woman stepped in.
Had she not, she would be walking around with her belt just a little bit tighter 1 week out of the month.
But women have cycles. Don't do that.
I know, just because we know that y'all, listen to me, I know what goes up must come down. I don't realize the validity of that shit until I'm the one coming down. Like, I know women have cycles, we just don't know what to do. Like, man, do you know how uncomfortable it is to get tampons and you a man?
Man, look, my mother used to do that shit all the time.
Some people are comfortable with it, but one thing I will say is because of the way that I was raised in the house I was raised in, is it's not really a conversation that is had with males on how to deal with those situations. Because, like in my household growing up, we had to. Everything was discreet. Nobody's even supposed to know that it's your.
Thank you. It has not been until the last 20 years that all of a sudden this period shit has become a reason for women.
You be in the bathroom like,
yeah.
You don't want nobody to ever hear that you on your cycle.
Now all of a sudden,
I'm like, girl, shit, I got time.
Women will come in. What's wrong with you, Sally? Yeah, I'm cramping. Oh my God, and I'm bloated. I'm retaining water. Well, I'm like, pop a hole in your stomach and let it go. Don't sit up here and make us suffer. Like you gonna blame us for what God did. God did that. Yeah, then blame that bitch. Don't blame us. Don't blame us. Like, women will blame us for shit that we ain't got nothing to do with.
One of my followers said women shouldn't partner with men that are afraid to go get their menstrual products.
Does she have a man?
No.
Well, then, there you go. Looks like somebody's by themselves. All right.
Don't do that.
No, they tell them don't be chiming in with stupid stuff. You need them. Oh, is it now? Is it now? Well, at the next family reunion, point her out so I know who to laugh at.
You coming to my cousin?
Hell yes, I'm coming because I want to see that cousin. And I'm going to purposely go to the CVS to get her shit, and it's going to be wrong.
Sis said I had one for 7.5 years.
7.5 years. And she's not married? So technically he had you. All right, next. Ooh. Don't shoot at me. Don't come for me unless I fend for you.
Oh, Lord. Listen, y'all, we not about to do this.
Oh, we don't do it.
I was just with y'all yesterday. We not about to do it.
Oh, she got back up. Huh? She got back up.
No, she said pull up. Then my aunt was like, uh-oh.
Oh,
I wouldn't know because I've been a single cousin, so I can't.
Tell her to pull up. Got some pecan.
I'm gonna play these two clips from Kevin Samuels had a live.
My pastor, Bishop Samuels. Amen. Amen. I send that nigga my tithes and offering every live. You understand me?
So like he had a live. This is from August 11th. I agree with the majority of what he said, but I'm gonna break it down. This is really my whole first show watching Kevin Samuels.
You agree?
Yeah, I agree with most of what he said. Let's get into this clip. They're going to give the story backline first, and then I'm going to play his responses with it.
One second. That woman knew her husband for 5 weeks. And as the story goes, they were at some party or something Her to-be husband came through the door, saw her across the room, said, "Who is that? That so and so? Oh, I think she's attractive." One of the people went over and said, "Hey, old boy says he thinks you're attractive or whatever." He says, "Well, if he likes me, he knows what to do." And from that point on, that guy went over and talked to her family, her father and her brothers, and they negotiated and talked about it and went to their sister or their daughter and said, "Are you interested in marrying this man? He wants her to marry you." When I talk to several women, I'm like, what is it that you think you are going to learn in dating somebody? Because no matter what you guys have to say, every time we talk about it on my channel, I was with him for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Then we got married for 6 months and we were divorced. How many times do you hear people say it changed after marriage? So like it or not, you can only know so much. Modern women, you gotta admit, you don't know how to pick, and you're taking too long. What does it say? I'm not gonna waste all this time dating. Dating him does not help you marry him. You have to make a choice. But what if I make the wrong choice? Then if it goes wrong, it goes wrong. You're making the wrong choices anyway, and you're not getting anything out of it. Why are so many of you ladies? Oh, because your fathers aren't there. You don't have any men to talk to. Men know what to look for. You don't. That being said, for modern women who want to be in a long-term relationship, dating is dumb. What are you going to know? Well, I heard people say, well, people can put their best foot forward. And in month 3, it may be different than month 1. So, you still don't know until you're living with somebody. Every excuse you make, I can say the same thing. You don't know. And I think it's funny, especially in our community. So many women feel far worse about being a divorcee than being a baby mama.
Praise his name. The doors of the church are now open.
As we pass around the collection
Yes.
plate.
Because I know, you know what? This is your show. I'm not going to hijack it. But I want to know how y'all feel about what he said. Because y'all obviously know how we feel. I was dancing. I was running around the sanctuary. So I want to know how y'all feel.
And look, what did I tell you when I sent you that clip? What did I tell you? I said I agree with most of what he said.
What don't you do?
I would not want to marry somebody after only knowing them for 5 weeks.
Okay, then my rebuttal to that would be, all right, in the case of, all right, I'll put it to you like this. In the case of your cousin, no disrespect, she was with a guy for 7.5 years, right? What's the point? Does she not desire to be married?
He was trash. He ended up.
It took her 7.5
Thank you.
years.
Thank you.
I don't know.
That's all I know. Notice
I
I didn't say, and if I was to say something like that, she would take it as a shot. It's not a shot. 7.5 years. That is 7 rotations around the sun.
And a half.
And a half. That is 7 birthdays.
And a half.
That is 7 Christmases.
And a half.
That is 7 New Years.
And a half.
Come on, baby. Come on, somebody. It only took Jesus 3 years to shake up the world.
With no half.
Thank you. Come on. Like, so this is my thing when it comes to
Well, her answer to you.
Oh, I want to hear this.
No, I cannot. No, she's saying no, I wouldn't, and things happen.
Stop it. The one thing that we women got to stop doing, and I'm going to be for real with it, and y'all got to stop with the ambiguity. You have to stop with the ambiguity.
What she mean things happen?
Thank you. It's ambiguous. It's ambiguous.
Well, the last person I dated took me 4 months, and I was like, yeah.
Come on.
Yeah,
Stop with the ambiguity. Like
that.
women use trigger words.
4
Hey,
months.
he's toxic. What does that mean? Because notice there's a certain thing as toxic masculinity, but there's not a certain thing called toxic femininity.
But it is though. Like,
who says it?
No, I know. I'm saying no, but you do have toxic women though.
Who says
Nobody
it?
says
Thank you. So it does not get nearly the airplay that toxic masculinity gets.
Whatever I say men do, women do too.
Thank you. Women speak in these ambiguous terms where it alleviates them of accountability. He was toxic. Well, what made him so toxic? And why did you endure that toxicity for as long as you did? Because I will tell you, as a man, we are telegraphic with who we are. There is no fooling you. There is no fooling you. I dare a woman to tell me historically or biblically or historically, chronologically or whenever, a woman was in power. We're talking about a monarch or some sort of aristocratic woman that was in power and was taken out.
It took her 2.5 years to get murdered.
And was taken out by the wiles of a man, where a man fooled you and took your kingdom away. You'll never hear about it. Now reverse the damn question. How many men in life, how many powerful men have been taken down by women?
Obama.
What? I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting Bill Clinton, but
he was next.
Thank you. Like I put it to you like this. Bill Clinton was the president of the United States. How does an unpaid intern get that close to give him head?
I don't know.
Thank you. So the first thing they do with every powerful man is they find out your sexual appetite. That's the first thing they do. You want to know why? Because women are undefeated. They're undefeated. No woman has ever been defeated. No woman by a man, never. Samson, it cost that nigga his hair and his eyeballs.
And his strength.
Where did it come from?
His hair.
That's why I said it cost him his hair and his eyeballs.
Well, some people might not know that.
Well, then they need to read the Bible.
But I mean, video on YouTube.
But I mean, just think about that. So when women speak in these ambiguous terms like he was toxic or things just weren't right or all this other stuff, that alleviates them of accountability. And the problem is when you have accountability and you take account for something, you have a responsibility to change it or you're adding to it.
You're right. That's why I went to therapy after the last one.
Absolutely.
I went way out of my character and I was like, wait a minute.
Thank you.
So
and the fact that you two women can go to therapy means that, there's something about me that I need to change. Because why are you going to therapy talking about other people?
Yeah, I realized that in my last relationship, it was something that I had to address. And I had to, I think I talked about on the show you on with my dad.
Yeah.
There was some issues where I didn't realize that it was abandonment issues until something triggered me. And I think a lot of people can't really identify their triggers.
It be some of the weirdest shit. Who ate the last thing of ice cream? I did. See, this is exactly why my daddy left. Y'all ate all the cookies and cream, and that nigga ain't been back since I was 3. And now I'm 33, and I'm still looking for some goddamn cookies and cream. Which technically means I just love my dad. You like all this over some ice cream?
It's the theatrics.
It's the accuracy.
Thank you. All this over some ice cream, nigga.
Well, for mine, the last situation, I never would express stuff that I didn't like. And so when it got to
ticking time bomb, oh my God.
And I noticed that was a pattern in other relationships. So now I express myself a whole lot better.
Now what I want to ask you is this.
Friends and family. So
what I want to ask you is this. How many good guys do you think you could have possibly missed out on because you failed to take accountability?
I would say probably one.
One is still one too many.
Yeah. One
is still one too many. Because that guy could have helped change your life.
Yeah.
Come on. No. Speaking to the mic. Grab into the mic. He was trying to what?
He was trying to marry me. But I was like, no.
Thank you. For what?
And I was gonna be able to move to Atlanta and all of that.
You was moving to Black Wakanda and you was about to marry T'Challa, bitch. You was about to marry T'Challa? Are you serious? And you've been stuck with Killmongers ever since? If you don't kill yourself and make it a slow death, I can't believe you. I can't believe you. You had a good dude, and because I
wasn't mature enough at that time either. Like, it was a lot of stuff that I'm like, I wasn't mature enough. It was all other stuff, and fear was another factor as well. But
okay, Joe Rogan.
No, seriously,
that was for me. At 17, I met somebody, and we're only like 2 years apart, but they were on a more serious level.
Frequency.
Yeah, and I just wasn't there.
And I was not going to destroy some somebody's life like that.
But see, you see how telegraphic men are when they want you. When a man, ladies, to all the women that are out there listening, y'all have the dudes that y'all need to be with. They're called your friends. I'm just gonna be real with you. The ones y'all sit up here in friend zone because they either not
Your type.
which is bullshit, which they're not adventurous enough or spontaneous enough or all that other dumb shit. Those are the men that will marry you and treat you the way you internally desire to be treated. Y'all need to stop picking the wrong dudes. Cause we don't pick y'all pick us.
You said that before.
Yes, because if men chose women, I hate to say it, as beautiful as y'all are, y'all wouldn't stand a chance compared to the women because we would choose Instagram broads all the time. We would choose the Nicki Minaj's of the world
So
and all of them.
They still are choosing them though.
No, they don't choose us back. I can go and choose. Come on, man.
Hey, what's the one that got caught up? Got to pay all that damn house.
TJ, whatever.
Yeah.
TJ Washington.
That nigga is retarded. That was some stupid shit.
But you do have to understand. This woman represents y'all.
She don't.
No, oh, really? Now, why is it that a bad man represents all of us, but when it's a bad
Hold
woman?
on, because I don't think
Wrong
that.
show.
Right.
No. Y'all are the exceptions. You are not the rule. Because if y'all were the rule, even if y'all messed up one time, even if a guy messed you up one time, you would realize that there are other guys out there, and y'all wouldn't hold them to the same standard that y'all held the last dude to. So y'all are the exception, not the rule. And even though men are outnumbered 7-1 by y'all will let that one man represent all the other men faster than we'll let those plethora of women represent y'all.
But then you still have men that be like, "Oh, women ain't shit," and that's not.
Well, instead of them saying it, they'll show it in action they believe that women ain't shit by treating women horribly.
And you do realize that, I'm going to be honest with you, the reason why men say that is because it is a reaction for how long y'all have been saying that about us. Women have been saying that and spewing that nonsense about us for almost 50 years. Since the 70s, when the feministic movement came, I keep going back to that. Because prior to that, you did not hear that type of rhetoric coming out of our women's mouths towards us. Y'all didn't hear it. Y'all grandmas didn't say it. I know my grandma didn't.
I don't know. My grandma raised all her children by herself after her husband died. So.
What? After her husband did what?
He died.
He didn't leave. He died. That's totally different.
And then came my uncle.
He didn't leave willingly.
Thank you. So it's like when y'all sit up here and say that, men are now getting to a point where it's like, well, if we ain't shit, y'all ain't shit either. Because if y'all were shit, why aren't y'all getting married at the clip that other races women's are? Because let me debunk this theory. Black men do not.
You don't really put my cousin.
I don't care. Because the truth, I'll put it to you like this. My uncle used to say, if you throw a rock into a crowd, a hit dog will holler. At the end of the day, let me debunk this theory about black men. We do not cheat. We do not lie. We do not abuse our women. And we do not do all of this shit that has been held over our heads for so long at any higher of a clip than any other man from any other race. Let's stop this acting like black men cheat because we wake up in the morning. We don't cheat and do none of this bullshit that women hold over our heads no more than any other race. So why is it that when it comes to our women, we've gone from an 80% clip of getting married to 25%, and the next lowest is white women at 54%? Somebody explain that to me. How is it that a white man, and I'm speaking societal, not anybody in particular, how is it that a white man who comes up with sexism, classism, racism, chauvinism, misogynism, feminism, every ism you can think of, they probably came up with maddenism. They came up with every ism you can think of, but yet they can still get married and stay married. But yet the black man who has been the subject of all of their isms can't find a woman to look beyond that, to stay with them. but they would rather be baby mamas than wives. Come on, somebody got to explain that to me.
I think that's that forgiveness level.
Come on, man. Come
and
on.
That's the biggest thing. It's got to be that forgiveness level and communicating. I think it's easy when you're married. It is easier to go through counseling and work past getting cheated on maybe one time. But if you have a habit of cheating, like you're doing this consistently, me personally, I wouldn't want to stay with someone who's consistently doing that. If we can't fix that problem, what is making you want to do this?
But speaking from the standpoint of a man, that man showed you he was a cheater before you ever said I do. You lied to yourself thinking that you could change him. And that's what a lot of women do.
I ain't trying to change nobody.
It's too much work for you. A lot, the problem with a lot of women is that y'all, I'll put it to you like this. Men lie because women lie. Men want to be honest with y'all. Men,
But be honest then.
that's a lie
They're
because you
scared.
cannot take it. How would you feel if a man looked at you and said, damn, you got a fat ass, what that mouth do?
That's happened before. I'm just going to ignore you.
Thank you. But you're inside. This dude could have been the finest person in the world, and you could have even felt that way too, like I want to give it to him. But the fact that he came up to you so belligerent and so out there, you be like, damn, homie, really? Come on, be for real. Be for real.
Would you want someone to greet you like that?
Hell yes. Men are different than women. I would love for a woman to come up to me and say, baby, what that mouth do? I would show her.
You know what? She gets straight to the point.
Thank you. Y'all don't understand. Your directness, not rudeness, ladies. Your directness is an actual aphrodisiac to men. We love the thrill of the chase, but we do not like an endless pursuit. And the fact of the matter is that men lie because women lie to themselves. If women started being honest, when you wear, and this is no disrespect, but I'm going to say it, when you wear fake hair, fake nails, fake eyes, fake asses, fake thighs, fake toes, fake teeth, you're lying. Because somewhere inside, you're not satisfied with who God made you to be. It's one thing to get your nails done. It's something totally different to come out looking like Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
I have no problem with that. Some of your, let's be honest.
Oh, so this is okay.
That's fine. Some of your lady counterparts,
Yeah.
OD.
Definitely. Talk
Yeah.
about them a lot. Talk about them a lot.
And then they'll try to sit up
And then
here.
it's them people who be getting smart with them nasty ass attitudes.
Thank
your
you.
Your makeup is everywhere.
Come on, man. You got.
Bitch, you better calm down
Thank
before I
you.
take my finger across.
Thank you. You got, yes, you got lace fronts, silk backs, Velcro sides. You're like, God damn, girl. And then we'll come out of her mouth and say, I want a man to keep it real with me.
Okay, so what about the men who wear all this designer and they put on this front, this fake, this facade or whatever, but they really ain't?
You want to know the reason why men do it?
Yeah. Like,
It's because of y'all.
I don't care about none of that.
That you.
I'm the exception.
Thank you. Like, and you know the funny thing about women is when you tell them about themselves, they're always not the person you're talking to. So what I say is, you're right. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about people who are like you. I'm not because if you talk to women, come on, Ty, back me up. You're not the average dude. Back me up.
Yeah, because they like these comments.
Back me up. Women always say that. You ain't talking to me. So it's all of y'all. It's everybody's the exception.
I think people have to learn how, like you said, be honest.
Thank
take
you.
accountability in your part in every situation.
Because
if that's self-reflection.
the great Dave Chappelle said, men buy nice cars because women like nice cars. Men buy big houses because women like big houses. We would fuck you in a cardboard box if you let us.
Yeah, because I'm trying to understand my cousin.
Come on, man. There is not a man in this world that if a woman busted open, right, listen to me, we would do it at the altar because it's easier for us to drop from our back to our knees and ask for forgiveness. Like, stop sitting up here acting like Like men are that difficult. We are as deep as a puddle, yet y'all drown in our bullshit. I'm gonna say that again for the people in the back of the sanctuary.
Well,
Men are as deep as a puddle, yet y'all ladies drown in our bullshit, which goes to show that y'all are on some shit yourselves. Because men do what men do because it attracts y'all. If y'all standards change, men will adapt and adjust. Period. Because at the end of the day, men are results driven where women are detail oriented. Back in the day, a man would settle for a virgin. Why? Because women's standards was you are not getting this until you put a ring on this. Am I correct? Y'all started to fudge y'all sexual standards. And men, being the chameleons that we are,
blended in.
Thank you. And we adapted.
That's why we meet their representatives.
But we meet y'all representatives because y'all want to be hoes in the beginning and then all of a sudden become saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost. Don't work like that. Women, everybody wants to be Christian until it's time to follow the Bible. Everybody want to be Christian until it's time to follow the Bible. I shouldn't abort this baby. Well, you had premarital sex. The Bible specifically says better for you to burn from fire than from passion. So now all of a sudden you a Christian when it comes time for the baby, but you weren't a Christian the 9 months before when you was on your knees and you were not giving thanks. I was. I'm just being real. Can we be real?
Absolutely.
So you're keeping this baby as a way to manipulate me.
That's dumb. Trap queens. I call those trap
And
queens.
guess how many we have in our community?
Too
Thank
goddamn
you.
many.
Thank you.
Too goddamn many.
You're a woman who sits up here and fights for freedom of your body, but yet act like I kept a gun to your head 24/7 for 9 months out of the year to make you have this
I just
baby.
don't understand with the trap queens. Like, why would I want to? You don't want me to begin with, so why would I have a baby?
Because it's a manipulating
But
factor.
it's dumb because now
Their logic. They don't think.
They don't
make
think
sense.
logically. Ask your female counterparts, the ones that are lighting me up like Christmas. Ask them. Ask your single mother friends out there. It's a different story if you got married, got a baby, then got divorced. It's a different story if you got a baby and you were married, got a baby, and he died in the case of your grandmother. That is not what's happening. What is happening is women are having babies by men who have already shown you they're not father material to begin with. How am I gonna be a father material and I'm barely boyfriend material? And being a boyfriend is a hell of a lot easier than being a father because I can just look at this bitch and say, I break up with you. I don't want to deal with you no more.
No
my son and my daughter is going to be my son and my daughter no matter what.
Okay, so somebody said that niggas trap women too.
How? I want to hear this. I want to hear this because people always want to try and flip it as if it's the same. How does a man trap a woman? Y'all are women. How does a man trap a woman? I will shut up. I want to hear
dudes be like, I'm going to put a baby in you. Nah, I got to run. Like, no, thank you.
I think the question is, how does a man trap a woman successfully?
Thank you. How does a man trap a woman? I want to know that. Please riddle me that, Batman. For all the women that want it, how does a man trap you? Because there are 33 forms of birth control for women. There are 33 forms. Yes, I really want to know that because I'm telling you right now, if I can trap a bitch, I'm finding Sanaa Lathan. I'm about to trap you. I'm about to trap you. I'm telling you right now, Sanaa, you are not safe. I will find your fine ass.
She said manipulation.
We're about to go to a music break.
Yes. Once again, with the ambiguous terms, once again, how does a man manipulate you and trap you?
I don't know.
Thank you. Sanaa, I'm finding that out and I'm going to find you. And I'm going to tell you right now, the family that prays will stay. The family that prays will stay, Sanaa. I'm telling you that right now. I'm done.
We'll be back in a moment after this music break.
What are you playing? Are you playing anything that's going to be?
Not that I know of.
Women need to stop. Do y'all understand how much control y'all have?
thought I told you not to break my heart. I thought I told you not to break my heart. Wait a minute, wait a minute. Just look at who you came with, and you wonder why I'm jaded. You used to run my mind like daily, now you're running up my patience. I get that we both famous, I hate the fact that we got painted. So tell me what you saying, cause we both a little faded. It must be my fixation on good girls who love creators. I wonder why I'm complaining when I knew what I was facing. Look, we keep fucking like we painless. One day we lovers, then we strangers. No interruptions, oh discussions, it's a ruckus like a playlist. Cause all we doing is playing. Oh, we been going through things. We used to be in love, but now we got issues. Now we got issues. We used to be in love. We used to be in love, but now we got issues. Now we got issues. But how much more can my heart break? How much more can my soul take? Should we just kick it and escape? Get JD's, marry a classmate. I know we said we really tried, but after we apologize, the same old mistake.
With guys, medically or through action. Like if you notice, with guys, the reason why a father is so necessary with a boy is because they learn ocularly. They learn by looking. They learn, like boys just roll with their fathers and they emulate what it is they see. Women, y'all are more auditory, which is the reason why y'all fawn over guys who know what to say to.
But they don't think that because one, they think that
A lot of my male friends were whores, and I'm so proud of those of you that are in relationships now. I'm really proud of you all. I'm so happy for you all.
That don't mean that changed.
I feel that because I tell people I do poetry, they're like, spit something right now. What you mean? Yeah, that one is fire. I got one of them.
Yeah, because all celebrities ain't ready to go sing now. They ain't ready to go all the time.
Think about Sway. When motherfuckers go up there and go sit with Sway in an interview when he say drop a freestyle, motherfuckers be having the worst 8 bars, 16 bars. Like, unless
We don't get paid enough to deal with the stuff that
and
we
it's
do.
a lot of politics in Prince George's County School Board.
It's so much.
It's
It's a lot of politics and education. Period. Like it's a lot. And
Throw the waitress or waiter a good one.
So are you gonna take the date even if it's from somebody that you might not be interested in?
Women do it. I'm gonna do it.
hold on, wait.
Yeah, y'all want a lot of days. Y'all want a lot of days.
Sometimes you might take it out. Sometimes parents don't have grace. Like we can't have bad days. You know what I'm saying?
Drive, or in that age range where they're learning to drive, please go over the laws with them. Practice going over how they should act when they get pulled over, and or police encounters. Period.
We talk about.
Everything that I move, the way that I move now is me setting an example for y'all. So then when they start seeing me do things, it's easier for them to talk to me. So like, again, my son is 14. So like, he's at that age where puberty's kicking in, starting to wonder things. So it's like, I say stuff to him just so he understands what's going on.
So I'm learning that
I can actually do everything together so people know who I am. They can figure out whether they like me or not, and then figure out whether they're gonna buy a product from me or try me out hair wise.
Money stacked to the arcade. Boys in the hood like Trey. Got more work than the resume. No shortcuts to the long way.
Meet the Virginia Lady Gators. It's the first professional women's tackle football team in the state. They practice in Williamsburg. Photojournalist Jasmine Towns got to see them in action.
It's truly a blessing. The WFLA was seeking teams that were already established to come into their league.
Becoming the first ever professional women's football team in the state of Virginia.
It still hasn't hit me yet.
For them to get the opportunity of a lifetime and to be able to be the first to ever do something, man, is just an incredible feeling.
They're more motivated.
Hit, flip, hit, flip, hit, flip.
Everybody, we are still in the studio with Mr. Perspective.
Yeah.
And DJ Sly Ty.
Not the average guy.
Bars! We had to throw that in there.
I want my publishing, nigga. I want my publishing. Which I'm the one that said it first. Nigga, I've been hitting up that line all day. Ty, you not the average guy.
Why? Why? Because I said it first, and you just piggybacked off of it.
Well,
You can't take this over litigation. All
right. On that music break, the three songs I played was My Mother by Serena. I also played Issues by Reggie Beckton, which was the last song you heard, and Talking Crazy by Uptown Trend. All three artists are from the area. To jump back in, I'm going to play these clips. They are from A Mother's Garden, which is a special on Netflix. If you haven't heard it, it's In Our Mother's Garden.
Folks want you to care for yourself only to the extent that it doesn't inconvenience them. And sometimes that's a huge obstacle for me because I don't want to inconvenience other people. I don't want to be a source of hardship for other people. And I have a deep sense of empathy around carrying the load for other folks. And so sometimes that means that I perhaps carry too much weight myself.
Black women bear the burdens because we are all that we got until it becomes that we feel that we can carry everyone's burden and not take care of ourselves. And so throughout history, all we've done is take care of other people, from the neighbor's kid to the person down the street to the slave master's child to the slave master to the mistress. All Black women have done throughout history is take care of other people. And our worth is in our work. Our worth is seen in our bodies. And so we are not applauded until we produce something for someone else. We're not celebrated or validated until we do something for someone else. And so we continue that. We continue that narrative in every way of life.
Of kids until I did everything that I needed to do in life to fulfill myself and my dreams. There's a lot of stress and pressure to achieve, to make it, and to make something that's going to last. And because of that, sometimes all I know how to do is hustle. I don't actually know what it looks like to fully rest. I come from people who all they've done their whole lives is work. because they wanted a good life, and so they worked for it. And so my view is, if you want a good life, then you got to get out and hustle for everything and build. And so giving myself the permission to get somewhere and sit down, as my grandma would say, or sit down, as she would say it, is something that I have to consciously meditate on. My right to rest. So many of us carry so much trauma, whether it's like sexual abuse or physical abuse or not feeling attractive or not being loved. And we walk around and we show that in how we, deal with each other, whether it's cattiness or, it's jealousy and it's envy. And I see too many of my friends that are dealing with depression. Self-care for me is like something I'm learning at 40, almost 40, not friends that are like having strokes, having heart attacks, losing their sight, and particularly as a survivor of sexual abuse, I've experienced a lot of pain from my family. I've experienced a lot of pain from, myself, just being so hard on myself. Like, why did, this happen to me? Almost like, why did I allow this to happen to me? And so for me, it's like, in order for me to be able to love my husband in the way that I want to love him, and even to like receive pleasure in the way that I deserve to receive pleasure, I need to heal. So self-care is also going to my therapist on a regular basis, and I think that I deserve to be free and not be admonished by the fact that somebody touched me and made me do inappropriate things as a child.
Yeah. I'm all about pleasure. I need you to hear.
Listen. So again, that is those clips and recordings were from In Our Mother's Garden. It is a special on Netflix. All of those women actually are from or have families from New Orleans in Louisiana. And
no, somebody been to an Essence festival. You see how she did that? We be like New Orleans. Nah.
I'm sorry, I'm a little country. Okay, sorry. But so there were 3 different views. I don't know if y'all can differentiate the voices in it. There were 3 different views, and one person who deems herself as a workaholic, and she addressed that she knows that she needs to
Sit down.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And in regards to her self-care. We have gotten now into society where we as women are starting to recognize that we need to do more self-care. But anytime we get into those modes, then we have people attacking us saying, oh, well, you going to be lonely and single.
Okay. Thank you. Ooh, thank you. Look at that. Do you see? Sometimes you don't need to pray. Sometimes you don't need to fast. You don't need to pray. You need to say amen, eat something, and tell people fuck them. Who cares? Like, for the life of me, I do not, like, with social media. When we got bullied growing up, it was a 6'8" 8th grader who was left back about 4 times.
It was you.
Yeah, I got goddamn bullied. I'm not afraid of that shit.
No, you were the bully.
Hell no, I don't bully nobody.
Like 6'3".
Look at you checking me out. Listen, I think I'm gonna put a baby in you. Like, so this is what it's about, man. Like, I've never understood that we got bullied by flesh and blood people. We had to fight for real. Mm-hmm. Jokers getting bullied on internet and shit like that. People put some mean stuff in my comments. What do I do? Block them, bitch. Delete it. Like, do you understand falling prey to being bullied on social media is like staying faithful to a girlfriend that don't live around here?
Yeah.
Bitch, that is not a girlfriend. That's a pen pal. Like, are you serious?
Long distance bully.
Tell them people that on Catfish, okay? Because Catfish been on for the last 10 years.
Thank you.
And people still
I'm faithful to somebody that don't live around here. What the fuck, man? Like, I just don't understand that. Who gives a damn what anybody else thinks about your life?
But I will say this, as far as like the self-care aspect, I think some of that goes back to the generational differences, because like this was a while ago. I just was in the mood. I didn't feel like being bothered, and so
surprise.
Your ass go. So it was just a lot going on. It was really heavy because I had friends that was going through stuff. I was going through my own stuff. So I just needed to be by myself. So what I'm learning, with my parents, that they take everything so personal. And I think But and so when she was talking about the self-care, and it's like we want to have our self-care, but then you make us feel guilty for taking our self-care. Now I ain't feel guilty for saying what I had to say to advocate myself, but it's just that understanding. It's like, okay, I had a lot going on. I get to the point where I feel over socialized. I really do. And so I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to be around people. I just want to be by myself.
People will say you're selfish.
Right. And it's like
for needing time for yourself.
I like to
fuck them too. Well, you know what?
But even me choosing to go to therapy, like my dad was like, well, what's wrong with her?
I'm glad you opened up a new perspective for me, and I'm gonna be totally honest and transparent. I hear you. And no, I'm serious. I hear you, and I receive everything that you just said. Fuck them. At the end of the day, it's your life.
Yeah, but you can't. I can't say that to my parents.
You know one thing. You can't. You what you say is God bless you. That is the Christian way of saying.
That's my mama tonight.
That is the listen to me. For all people out there who are believers who do not want to curse, I am going to give you ways to curse at people. I'm gonna hit you with ways to curse at people without cursing. When somebody says, "Well, you shouldn't do that," well, God bless you. That means fuck you. Okay. When somebody says, "Oh Lord Jesus, give me the strength," that means they have it, but they want to repress it because that strength would come right across your face.
At work every day.
Thank you. The one thing I don't understand, listen to me. I admire white people, and I'm gonna say this straight up. I admire white people because white people will go to therapy for anything. My mama didn't give me a pony when I was 5, and it was at that point I realized that she was for half my back. You're like, what the black people? We will find out our mama's our aunt, our brothers and sisters are our cousins, and our daddy is really the milkman. And we will not go to therapy. We will say, as long as I got King Jesus. Did you read his story? Jesus needed therapy too.
Jesus also had a doctor with him as
and
well.
I wish people would
Then find somebody to walk around with you with a stethoscope and a thermometer. But stop sitting up here using Jesus, black folk, to get around doing the work.
Yeah. Jesus and my therapist.
Could you imagine how much therapy Jesus needed? Only person that would have been able to help him would have been Dr. Phil.
Okay, today we have on here Jesus. Should I call you Yahweh?
He probably like, no, call me I am, because I am pissed off right now, Phil. My daddy done sent me out of here and didn't even ask me my opinion. I done fed 5,000 niggas and not one of them said thank you. And I'm walking around with 12 niggas. 11 of them keep doubting who I am, and 12, I'm just waiting for this motherfucker to show his real colors. Yeah, I need therapy. I'm serious, man. Come on, bro.
I really want people to change the narrative to understand going to therapy does not make you a weak person. It actually makes you wise. That means you're taking accountability and addressing an issue and saying that I cannot handle it by myself. I need to find other tools. Yeah, they do need to.
Yeah, therapy is high. Shout out to
$200 per word. Okay,
if you have a job,
help. $600. $600, nigga. I need help.
If you have a job, you have health insurance. That is covered. That is definitely. And if at my old job, I forgot what it was, but I had like 3 free sessions to go to her. And my therapist was black.
She had a free trial at her job.
You had a free therapy trial?
It's I forgot what they call it, but
3 free sessions. I would talk so fucking fast and enjoy.
But every job has it. It's something. I forgot. It's like an emergency type of thing.
They know we black. Everything's an emergency to us.
But an emergency free trial. That's what we got.
Boy, it would be a wrap. I
wanted to keep going to her, but the insurance that they offered, I couldn't. But I'm getting ready to go back to her. It was like $110 for 45 minutes.
Dr. Phil sitting up here. So Jesus, where should we start from the beginning?
Well, in the beginning, God created the heavens and earth, nigga. That's what it like.
But personally, my therapist was black, and I will not go to a white therapist. No shade, but I just feel like they can't relate to me. I had a black woman, and like it felt like I was sitting there talking to
your sister,
my homegirl. You know what I'm saying? And she understood me, but I can't go to Mary because she don't.
Because of the cultural difference. So
but
you do have to understand that to a certain degree, going to a black woman can kind of like be
a hindrance.
Not a hindrance, but it can be a false sense of security.
Yes, and I think it is important that you do your research
Yes.
or try out different people to see who is going to be helping you get to where you need to be.
And niggas, if you're gonna pay this much money to go up in here and talk to somebody, at least be honest.
Yes, the same way y'all shop for cars, shop for your damn.
Yes.
Completely honest.
Be honest. You are not in here because of somebody else. You are in here because of you, baby. That's like the great. I think it was Bishop Sean Carter who said, "What you eat don't make me shit." Why are you in here because of somebody else? You are in here because of you.
It's not like they can whoop you.
Thank you. We lied.
Either way.
And lying does not help because it doesn't help your progress because you're still lying to yourself and now you're lying to the person that's supposed to help you. So they really can't get to the root of the issue.
And to me, that just does nothing but show you how
defeats the purpose.
it shows you just how selfish women are. Women are selfish because lying is for other people. Why are you lying to yourself? It ain't for you. Lies are for me. Lie to me. Don't lie to yourself. That shows you how selfish and self-centered you are. Your lies, Shayla, are for me. Don't lie to yourself. I'm beautiful. No.
Because I know guys that like, oh well, I went to therapy, but it didn't work. And I was like, but were you honest with your therapist? But when it started getting to those heavy questions and they really start opening up their wounds, then that's when they quit.
Then if that's the case, I have no problem with somebody quitting. But if you're gonna quit, accept what comes along with it. That's my only issue with people. And that thank you. That's my issue when it comes to this movement that's going on here. Women want to be Blade. They want to have super speed, super strength, and suck your blood and walk out in the sunlight. Bitch, you gotta have to give up one thing. You're not Blade. You can't have it all with no consequences. So if you want to be Miss Masculine, cool, be that. But understand that either A, you're going to attract a masculine man and y'all are going to conflict all the time, or you're going to get a beta male and you're going to find yourself complaining about how he is. It's the same thing with a man. Yo, you want to be a player? Be a player. But don't get mad when the game eventually gets played on you. Because nobody plays all the time. Eventually you get played.
Yep. And
How to be a player, y'all seen it.
That's why I agree with one of the statements he said, you won't know nobody until you live with them.
Sure.
Child, the one person I lived with, we lived together for a year, and in the first 3 months, I swear I wanted to just pack my shit up and leave.
I'm telling you right now, that's the truth. I did not know how hard it was to live with the Lord until I invited him in my life. You know how hard it is to live with Jesus? Shit. Jesus walked, I try to run as fast as I can from. Unfortunately, he's there when I'm in the
we were talking about this a little bit on the break of how can we overcome this battle that we have right now where we're already facing racism and social justice in the world, but we're also struggling for respect. We're also struggling for respect within our own community because it's so much of men and women tearing each other down. How can we work to get to another place where it's just not happening anymore, where we're able to work together and uplift each other? Because it is very disturbing to see men just bashing women every day, or women just bashing men every day.
Like my aunt.
This nigga, man, she did not give him that kung fu, but she got with the kung fu.
I think people just need to heal. Like, people really need to be honest with themselves and heal and do the work. And I'm not saying just sit there and go to Jesus. I'm talking about actually go to
him and do the work.
I know Jesus gets so freaking tired of people. I'm gonna go to the Lord. No, you don't need
because
to come
some of y'all block your own blessings and your own progress because you're in your own way. And God may be sending you what you've been asking for, but you can't get out your own way. But that's I don't know. But yes, I think as a community, just as a whole, I think we need to heal because all of us have had childhood trauma. It's been secrets that's been kept in the family for years, and people, just now finding out stuff that they didn't know, and so you hold on to this stuff, you harbor this stuff. So yes, and like one of my viewers said, be open minded when you go to therapy, because you have to keep an open mind in order to heal. Like you can't have the same thought process that you had when you go in. If you like every session that I went to, I'd be like, oh, that girl, you are absolutely correct. Like, she would change my perspective on certain things, but you have to be open minded and willing to accept that.
Well, at the risk of turning you on, I'm gonna get behind you. So calm down. So I definitely agree with you on that, but I'm gonna take it, a step further. I honestly believe we need to get back to our God-given roles in life, because we are all out of place. Every last one of us out of place. Men are out of place, women are out of place, and ultimately children are out of place. And we honestly, we just got to get back to our roles. Like the thing, I think about it like this on a basketball team. You have a point guard, a shooting guard, a small forward, a power forward, and a center. Every last one of them have a role. They may be able to step into another role, but it's only temporary. Mm-hmm. That is not where you belong. Like, Manute Bol may be able to handle the ball back in the day, but you don't want to see his 7'7" ass as a point guard. Right. And you damn sure don't want to see Muggsy Bogues as a center. Like, his little ass. Like, so it's like, just because you grab one rebound, don't make you a rebounder. Just because Dennis Rodman hit one 3-pointer, don't make his ass Ray Allen. And the problem is, we're out of our roles. Yes, women, y'all have held it down. You're listening to the product of a single mother. So I would never disrespect a single mother. But as a man being raised by a single mother, I saw my mom out of pocket with a lot of stuff because she had to step into a male role. Now, I'm not going to speculate or speak on why her and my father didn't work out. But at the end of the day, what I do know is we got to start getting back to our roles. Men, be the men that you desire these women to follow. Women, start being the women that attracts these men to lead you. Men stop giving these women false hope, because women go off of emotion. They are triggered by emotion. Stop giving these women the false hope that you're going to be there and then you leave them. Women, stop opening yourself up to men that have already shown you they're not going to be there. Children, shut the fuck up. Parents, start slapping these children in their mouths to get them to shut the fuck up. Like, I'm sick of this, man. Like, I'm sick of all of the excuses. And I don't want to, let's just take, and I know this is going to be difficult because people are like, you can't, but let's just separate racism and all of that. Let's just try. What are we as men and women in the Black community going through that other races aren't going through with their significant others? That's what this boils down to.
Having a significant other?
Why don't we? And because there comes a point in time where I always say this with Black people, they don't like it. They like when I say it, but I don't give a damn. I answer to one person. We already know what the playing field is by now. We can't keep using systematic shit to keep talking about what we're doing internally to each other. We know what the playing field is by now. It's just like somebody in the wintertime. Haven't you ever seen white people walk outside with a sweatshirt on and cargo shorts and Birkenstocks and then talk about how cold they are? Bitch, it's January. You know what January brings. So my thing is, you're Black. You know what this skin brings. You know our only true strength is together. So stop bitching and complaining about what it is the white man is doing to us if we're turning around and doing it to each other. Because like I said before, we're not going, Black men are not doing anything at a more rampant pace than any other race of men in America. And if you don't believe me, go and ask some of these white women that are married. Melinda Gates just came out and said her husband, which is the richest motherfucker in the world, had a girlfriend for the past 20 years. Didn't she say that? For the past 20 years. This is Bill Gates. Yes, I'm upset.
Yeah, but why did she stay? Like, that's what.
You want to know why she stayed? Because she had a fucking duty. She had do y'all really and truly think do black women really think black men cheat at that much more of a clip than anybody else?
No,
I do not.
Then why is that the main thing that they use as a reason on why they don't want to join themselves to us? I am not saying infidelity is cool for all the stupid people out there who will say, so what you saying? He should cheat? No, I'm not saying that. Because that'll be the first thing they'll say. So he should cheat, huh, Ned? No, I'm not saying that. While you hitting your braids, put some sense in your head. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, why do y'all use that as a reason not to be with us, then lament why y'all can't find a man? That's like turning the air conditioner on and saying, it's cold in here. There must be some toros in the atmosphere. Like, come on, man. Like, cut the air conditioner down. You control that. Shut up. I'm just saying, man. I mean, it's asinine to me, this narrative that is put out there like black men are so bad.
I don't know, but I know I want to marry a black man. I don't care.
I'd
have been hurt by a black man. I'd have been
doesn't matter
sexually
what I've been
assaulted by a black man. All that. I still want me a black man. Absolutely. Period.
I mean, that's cool. That's cool. I'm going to tell you right now, me personally, I'm down for whoever shows me that they down for me.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm about
part
now.
with that. So, like,
yeah.
Love whoever you love. And whatever works for you, works for you. I just hope that if it is someone outside of the race, that they can truly grasp the understanding of the cultural differences and the things that you'll have to go through on a daily basis, just walking out of the door every day.
Yes. Now that to me right there is the only thing. And the reason why I'm like, marry who you want to marry. I think your first preference should be to your race, whoever it is. But I think you should marry who you want to marry. Because at the end of the day, all these people who sit up here and say, I want to marry black, I'm going to marry black. Listen, the movement is not going to be in there while you dealing with each other. Let's be for real. You can sit up here and be like, oh, black is beautiful. And then as soon as y'all close the door, bitch, you don't get on my nerves. Like, you know what I'm saying? All these other people who sit up here praising you for having a black marriage ain't going to be back there to help you while y'all clashing and y'all going at it. So it ain't just about marrying somebody black. It's about marrying somebody who is going to pour into you.
Absolutely. Yes, because this cup runneth over.
So I want to say this real quick because we talked about it. Who
talks about themselves in the third person? What are you, The Rock?
We talked about this briefly before you came in about how there's so many. I think there's been
Black women will always make a hand signal to mean what it is they mean because this cup run it over.
Yo, I cannot do a show with you every day. Like, it would be fucked up every day.
Because it's the truth. Like, seriously, I'm telling you, fellas, if you ever want to win an argument with a black woman, just hold her hands. She can't talk. I swear to God.
Well, I do talk about
Now she's defenseless.
She's defenseless.
I do talk with my hands, though.
Thank you. That wouldn't even
I teach with my hands. So
I do, too. It's a habit. But we were talking about... we think that society has just changed the way of what majority of us would say is independent. Just because someone is independent doesn't mean that they want to continuously be by themselves. We're independent because we have no choice right now. This is what I would say adulting. I'm adulting by myself until I meet someone who can, as you said, pour into me and I can pour into them. But a lot of people, when as soon as that word independent comes out there, they be like, oh no,
when they
be like, oh no, well they good,
Question.
they independent, you can do it by yourself.
Why you want to talk about me when your shit is really stinky? Yes, come on, you want independent? Go ahead.
No, I was.
No, you was repping for you and your cousin. Yes, she was. Is she still on there?
Me and her just agreed with each other before you even came in here, so don't even do that.
Say that again.
Me and her.
She had together.
Yeah, she had together herself. It wasn't this quick. No, I'm just on.
But independent doesn't mean that we want to be single or alone or by ourselves. It means until we meet the person. What you shaking your hand for? And until we are met with the person who is on our level that we match with and everything, we have to do things on our own. Just like you do things on your own, you're single, right?
Yes.
So, so you're independent. You're an independent man.
You cook, you clean, you do stuff, you pay your bills on time.
That's being an adult.
You know
right?
what I'm saying? You pump your own gas.
That's what, when I say independent, that's what it means to me. It means being an adult and taking care of my responsibilities
So
and not depending on anybody.
Are we using the words independent and adulting interchangeably? Is that what we're doing?
My mom said, why you single?
Why am I single? Oh, John.
She's married to my uncle. It do matter.
When you say, ask the question, what do you mean by that?
Like, I feel like in terms of adulting, yes, that's when you take care of yourself and you pay bills and all that other stuff on time. Being independent, I feel like it just means you're just, how can I put it? Like, I don't want to say like you're just like alone or like it's just you, because I feel like you can be. I want to say like you can be independent to an extent without having to adult, if that makes sense. No, it doesn't make sense. I know. Look, in my head, it made all the sense.
No, I'm only saying this because independent meaning that you're not relying on someone else. Because I don't think that codependency is healthy.
You need to be interdependent, meaning that we use each other. We need each other.
Yeah, but society sometimes, how it comes off,
they misconstrue
it makes
what we
it feel like
mean
we
as
should be codependent on each other.
Well, first and foremost, if you let somebody talk long enough, you'll figure out what their issue is.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we listening to a society that is not built for us?
You're right, but I'm just saying that.
So
there's a lot of black people in this society that project that.
You want to know why they project it? You want to know why they project it? It's because
they never had anybody depend on them.
No, it's not that. First and foremost, when it comes to independence, you have to look at how it's being used. Because a lot of people, and I hate to keep making this a gender thing, but women use independence as a weapon. How many times have we heard women, whether it's not you or anybody else, I don't need no man. I can do it all on my own. I can pay my bills. I got a car. I got a house. Well, bitch, welcome to adulthood.
Yeah,
that's all.
That's what we're saying.
But
that's what I was trying to say earlier. What Doug said.
But that's what I'm saying. Women use independence as a weapon. Men don't use independence as a weapon. You want to know why? Because it ain't nothing special to us. Because we're always taught to be independent. The only reason women are taught to be independent is because the man has been removed from the home. The truth of the matter is, this is the way it was back in the real old days. This is the way it was. A woman did not leave her home until there was a man who married her and could put a deed in her hand. She went from her father's house to his house. That's the way it was supposed to be. When men got removed from the household, then women started saying, girl, you don't get caught up with no man. Go do your own thing, establish your own way, do your own thing. And if he can't get with your program, then forget him. That's not the right way. Men have never had to get with a woman's program unless we're talking about her body. Her body, yes, we have to get with her program. But once she marries us, her job is to come and fulfill the dream that he has. That's the reason why Les Miles, the motivational speaker, said, whatever you give a woman, she will multiply and give it back. Men give a woman a seed, she turns it into a baby and gives it back to you. Women, you give them food, they make it a meal. You give them a house, they make it a home. You give them shit, they will give that joint back to you threefold. That's the reason why men can't deal with y'all when y'all emotional, because y'all give it back to us. Y'all are magnifiers. So what happens is women magnify whatever their situation is. That's the reason why when it comes to independence, it's a repellent for a man, because a woman has magnified what her mother has taught her as a result of the man not being there. So what happens is a woman uses it as a weapon against a man, and the first thing a man is like, man, I ain't got time to deal with that. I ain't got time to deal with that. They want a woman who's dependent on them because at least it feels like they're needed. The one thing a man has to feel is needed
and appreciated.
I tell women this all the time. There are only 3 things a real man wants from you. 3. Respect as a man, appreciation for being your man, and leave me the fuck alone. Do not come bothering me with dumb shit. I don't know what it is about women. When they know a man is at peace, it is like something disturbs their spirit. This nigga's happy. Let me go fuck with him. It's like, nah.
No, because when he happy, that works for me. Like, why would I want to fuck up your peace?
Exceptions. Exception alert.
Let's be
Exception
happy
alert.
together, my nigga. Like, what we doing today?
But it's the truth, though. Men, when women have nights out, we don't bother y'all. Go have fun. Soon as the nigga have, hey, I'm gonna go out tonight. You better not be out there fucking no bitches. Like, really? I'm gonna do that between the car?
Yeah, I'll be like, be safe. I see you when you get
Exceptions to
back.
the
I'll be
rule.
sitting right here drinking my wine,
Exceptions to
watching
the
my
rule,
time.
because every girlfriend has that one friend of their man that they do not like. He ain't shit because he been a player since high school and his ass ain't never gonna change. And the one thing that y'all don't understand is that nigga is out there vouching for you like, yo, I wish I had what you had. Because single life is not as easy as people try to make that shit out to be, not for a man. Women act like you walk out the house and pussy rains down from the heavens. No, it doesn't. They do. They act like being single is the thing to be. It really is not. I am telling you, as a man, I've been single my whole damn life. It is not.
The grass is not green.
No, you will hop the fence and find out that shit is artificial turf, goddammit. That shit is not easy.
You okay?
No. No. Because next thing you know, you're going to want me to put a baby in you, and I can't do that.
That's going to be enough.
She about to take off running. Now you about to see them Nike pants in the but I'm being dead serious, man. I'm being dead serious. It's one of those things where it's like there are a lot of things where roles need to be gotten back to, because this independent woman thing is a plague that is really severing us.
I think really the way that people present it, plays
it's being weaponized.
Yeah,
it's being weaponized.
It plays a big role. It's like when somebody asks me what do I bring to the table, I'm not going to say regular adult life shit.
I would be like, listen, I'm here for you.
Because I didn't hear people.
Woman asked me what I bring to the table. I say, bitch, I eat on the floor.
But no, even with that, with being independent. So of course, it was somebody that tried to talk to me. So I think I said this on the show before, and
how many people be trying to talk to you?
A lot.
And you don't find none of them appealing?
Let me tell you about this one. He gonna say
you do need
he gonna
Jesus.
say
He the only one. Hopefully, when he come back to fight Armageddon, he got time.
He gonna say, you know, I can pay your car note. I said, I can pay my own car note. It's okay. He was like, but I'm gonna need access to your car if I pay your car note. Like, what type of shit?
Where do you find these niggas at? You find a dude that just arbitrarily show you his daughter for no reason. Then you got another nigga who vicariously wants to steal your car, yet pay the note so it don't get repoed from his house.
So
where do you
where's your car and why do you need to drive?
Yes.
Because when he was like, oh, you came from a two-parent household, like that's what's up. Like, you know, you had both your parents, da da da. And then
okay, now I know why you are the exception. Now I know. No more jokes. Now I know why you're the exception.
And so when he was like, you I was like, I live at home, but I literally take care of myself, like whatever. And so he was like, yeah, but I can do this, I can do that. I'm like, it's okay, like I got it.
And your parents are how long they've been married?
It's been 42 years.
You see,
she's just outside the time.
She's totally like, think about this. She's living with her parents. Ain't nothing wrong with that. So when the man comes along that's supposed to marry her, he truly can be given away now. Because that's what it's about. When your father gives you away, it's like, now I give my responsibility of my daughter and her well-being to you. Don't fuck up. And that's where it's supposed to be. So now I know why you the exception. Because you was raised the right way. No wonder you see the devil trying to get you. That's why no, I'm dead serious. The devil always come after the strongest people. He ain't come after no weak Israelites. He went after Samson's ass. So you Samson. Bitch, you Samson. You fucking Samson. Don't you ever cut your hair and get no damn cataract. So we all die. You fucking Samson. Shit. This mother. We are sitting next to the answer, goddammit. God, he has smiled on me. He has set me free. Oh, God has. Yes, because I'm serious, man. Like, no, I'm sitting up here, me and Ty thinking you just the exception because all women the exception. Now I know why you the exception. What's your mama and daddy name? Grady and Joyce? No. What is it?
Jerry and Pat.
It's close enough. You damn sure can't be no player named Jerry. You named after a mouse now. Yeah, what's your name? Jerry. Nigga, get married. Get married. Jerry and Pat. Well, it was meant to be together. Both of their names ended in Y.
Yes, you right. My aunt said my father and my uncle gonna give me away.
Damn right. Yeah. That's the way it needs to be, like for real. And that's the reason why I am harping on this roles. There are roles. Men have a role. Women have a role. And if that shit has carried us successfully as a people and a society for centuries, why are we all of a sudden wanting to get away from that? What? You okay? Yeah. Okay. Why do we all of a sudden want to get away from that? Those roles have carried us for centuries, especially in the Black community. Now all of a sudden, because a whole bunch of people out there want to find a different way to divide us because, I don't know, we're stronger when we're united. Yeah, and all of a sudden we want to sit up here and believe. It's amazing to me how we want to believe the same society that we live in. We want to believe the same people that have done nothing but tear us down since we came to this country in 1619. That's amazing to me. Society says I as a woman should be blah, 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 blah. The same society that has sat up here that you sit up here talking about have attacked your Black men. The same society that says that objectifies Black women. The same society that sits up here and attacks your kids and put them on Ritalin and Prozac and all of these medications, which are similar to the same drugs in which they locked our uncles and dads up for 25 to 30 years over drugs that have been legal for the past 10 now. And ain't no amnesty or no clemencies going out at all. But this is the same society that we're going to listen to on how we need to conduct ourselves as men and women. Like, come on, y'all. We got to get our shit together, Black people. We got to get our shit together for real. If we really about the mission at hand, then we need to be about it.
And
or
stop
shut
looking
up.
to these celebrities to do everything.
Thank you.
And calling them goals. No.
Yeah. Absolutely. Like, come on. If we really gonna be about this movement, then let's be about it. But stop being about that shit because it's a fashion trend. If we're really going to be about the unification of the Black man and the Black woman, then both the Black man and the Black woman need to look in the mirror, figure out what's wrong with them, and then look at each other and talk about what we're going to do to pour into the other to build this shit. Because it is not about happiness. Marriage is not about happiness. It's about fucking duty. If you listen to the vows, happiness is nowhere in that shit. Love has absolutely nothing to do with happiness.
I'm a firm believer of you need to do whatever to make yourself happy before you get with anybody.
But but marriage ain't about love. Love ain't about marriage. Is not about happiness. Because if it was, you really and truly think your grandma wanted to have 9 kids.
I don't know.
No.
Back then they had
No. My grandma had 8. My grandma had 8, and she pulled me to the side. God rest her soul, and said, "Baby, learn from your grandma. Know when to pull out." That's what she said.
Well, Katie May ain't never say nothing like that to us.
Okay, that's because Katie May probably was like, well, maybe they see what it is I've gone through and they'll just learn by osmosis. You ain't had no kids, so obviously her lessons got through.
Well, my cousins, I'm the baby girl in the first generation of cousins. Them, the ones older than me, them the ones that got the children, and the great grands, they got the kids.
Man, like I said, it is not. It is not about happiness, man. It is about duty. It really and truly is. And once we get back to our roles, you'll start to see a very big shift in the black community. You'll see a shift in the black community majorly. But as long as we walking around confused about where we supposed to be and fighting against the natural order of stuff, we're going to get unnatural results. And this shit is unnatural. Look at everything that's going on, and I'm not going to call anything out because I don't want nobody shooting at your show. But I just want everybody out here to use their sense and look at how unnatural everything in our society is now. That's all I got to say on that. You can interpret it however you want to. But I'm sure a lot of y'all know exactly what I'm talking about.
The show is, well, we thank both DJ Sly Ty and Mr. Perspective for joining us today.
Thank you, Pink, for allowing me to be here.
You didn't have to just thank me. You got Fearless over there, too. You know, it's us. We're a team.
Well, you know what I'm going to do? You're right, it is us. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the you. So thank you for bringing me here.
Can you tell the people where they can find you and when they can hear you on Next Level Radio?
Well, you can find me on Next Level Radio with Conversations with Comedians on Wednesdays. And we got our shirts popping off, so the $25. Fearless Swagger is rocking one right now. You can find us on Spotify, Podbean, Anchor. Just check us out, man. You can see me on Instagram at @thatdude_Doug. I'll go live quite often, sharing my whole perspective and whatnot. So feel free to chime in. I'll interact with anybody as long as there's respectful dialogue. I'll interact with anybody. So,
Mom said she want a free shirt.
Yeah.
So DJ Sly Ty.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram under DJ_Sly_Ty. You can find me on Next Level Monday through Thursday at 10 a.m. At the Morning Mac Show. We are the first show to kick off every day. So we're on the air from 10 to 12 Monday through Wednesday, and on Thursdays we're on from 10 to 2.
Okay. So y'all know we always end our show with words of wisdom or affirmation. Do y'all have anything that y'all would like to add?
I would like to say a poem.
PSA, I'm not responsible for the views that are about to come up.
I'm twinking into a whole new era. G-Funk, step to this, I dare ya. Funk on a whole new level. The rhythm is the bass, and the bass is the treble. Chord springs, we brings melody. We're G-Funk. Where rhythm is life,
You know this me and my uncle.
and life is rhythm.
Thank you so much. DJ Sly Ty.
Yeah, I can't follow that.
I'm going to run through these events real quick. You'll be able to see all the events that are going to be part of the YouTube and Facebook video. On the 18th, Customized Community Market is having a game night from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. You do need to register online for that. Are they still having a crowd or it moved? Right?
I believe it moved to September 11th.
Oh, perfect day.
When we get more
We'll schedule
information,
something on that day.
we'll get more information as we arrive to that day. Self-care Saturday is going to be Saturday, August 21st from 11 to 4 at 3095 Marshall Hall Road and Bryant's Road. I cannot.
Look, but y'all don't know Doug is my spirit animal. I always say that.
I always. You know what? Never mind. August 29th, Pretty Pepper Queens is having their stunt Sunday. It is combined with their back to school drive and first responders drive. It will be at Bowie Bay Sox Stadium. I believe that's from 4 to 8. I am going to let Phyllis go ahead and with her affirmation.
Oh my God. So my affirmation for this week is don't trade your authenticity for approval. Let me say that again. Don't trade your authenticity for approval. Okay? Which means always be yourself. Okay? For me, what you see is what you get. So how y'all see me on this show, literally, this is me 24/7. Y'all can ask my family that's watching. I'm like this in the classroom. I'm like this all the time. So be true to yourself. A lot of people have an internet persona and they have a different type of persona, but they're not being true to themselves. So don't trade your authenticity, which means your authentic you, just for someone else's approval, which means you don't need anybody else to seek validation. You seek validation from yourself. Y'all be blessed.
For my black business spotlight real quick, I'm gonna shout out Nacho Bangers, which is up in Baltimore. I cannot with you. It's on 226 West Reed Street in Baltimore. And Bartending Beauties LLC. They are a mobile bartending service, which they are based out of Baltimore as well. They do sip and pain, pop-up events, birthdays, and weddings. My affirmations or word of the week. Life is not a competition. Let your work speak for itself. There's a million people doing a million of the same things, but nobody can duplicate you. If you perfect your craft, the clientele will be there. Everybody can win. I want to thank y'all for joining us today. Y'all can find us next Sunday where we have special guests, the CEO and owner of House of New Beauty. We are the DMV's Vibe Podcast, and we'll see y'all next Sunday.
Bye, y'all.
I really enjoyed this.